Well. Round 3, here we go. And, Fury, there is no formation lap on this time. I am not leaving anything in Codemasters or EA's hands anymore. And I think we were going to run with no formation lap from now on in until they fix their game, to be fair, mate. And, the boys are loading in as we speak. The grid has been set, and, the boys will be choosing their setups. And no formation lap, just to remind everybody at home, no formation lap. And we're going to get this one underway.
Yes, round 1.4 is ready to go.
Exactly, mate. 1.4.
Times the charm. So, yes, but look, as you said before, like we can understand some issues being in the game, but a fundamental issue with the formation lap with an actual starting the race online, that's not okay. So
it's not good.
Hopefully it'll be fixed sooner rather than later. I did have a brief look online. I know EA are actually looking into it, and whether they're still looking into the patch or trying to work out how to fix it or not is beyond me. But
I mean, EA's just the front man for the same old problem, isn't it? It's always Cody's, but we're going to get underway. We're going to get underway, Fury. I've got to get all my stuff ready to go because there's no formation lap. And we are go here at Paul Ricard. Where are we? Awesome start by Sandeezy. But he has been jumped by Rip the Beans and Scotty. Have a look at this, Fury. Into turn 1. So far, so good. All getting through unscathed, and that's exactly like...
Oh, Scotty's absolutely murdered the ball out of turn 1, and I've just gone really quiet. You've gone really quiet, ME. Anyway, Beans has absolutely got blighted. Tabbed up from P5. He's jumped up to P2. Sandeezy's gone backwards. Got a car around. Often not getting the best run. Chasey Dane as well. And he's now dropped to the back of the field. But the lads out in front, RL Numbnuts, he's having a big look. Cool boy alongside these two.
Oh, they're 3 wide, Fury. They're 3 wide. Look at this.
Oh, Milligan's just actually been given a 5-second grid time penalty for cutting a corner and gaining a place. So that'll be interesting. See what happens with that. And there's a car around this the Samsung of your guy JC. 3 into 1 did not work out. The Samsung coming out the worst out of that. Cool boy Macedonian. He's come absolutely rolling up the field, mate, after being knocked out in Q1. He's currently up into P10. And looks like just about there are no fights going on. I say that immediately. Johnny M4 sticks it down the inside of the Tie Star. To put 3 Castrol cars all in a line in 12-13.
Oh, and there you go. There's Cool Boy. Cool Boy's around. We just seen the end of that. And that is throwing him towards the back of the field there, Fury. He's, he's got Bopton behind him. And, of course, Chasey Dane as well. Holy moly. All those boys on the hard compound. Wrong tyre choice, in my opinion. And, they are finding out the hard way as Suicide 5 in 16th still. But look at the cars he's got to deal with here, Fury. There is some position changes as your guy JC just gets by Johnny M4. Fantastic move into turn 1. Johnny M4 want to be careful. Oh, he's tickled Brad Tay out of a move. Brad Tay thought he was getting it all wrong. Brad Tay lifted. And lucky that didn't cost him any time positions as 2-5 all over the gearbox of Crazy Kiwi here, Fury.
Yeah, and Suicide 5, he actually lost a couple of places out of that initial turmoil. And 2-5, he's all over the back of Kiwi, but Numbnuts is actually all over the back of him. That hard tyre working on the JPS car a little bit better than the medium is working on the Castrol. Tactical Genius, he's moved up a place in the JPS just past the reserve of Sandeezy. Milligan jumping onto the back of that battle as well. The yellow flags, and that's 2-5, unfortunately, gone around seeing a spin. Milligan is going to make the position into Signs, which is a very good place. We saw a couple of moves made by Carlos Signs.
Oh, he's going on the inside. He's going on the inside as Milliganes. He's going to get the job done. What a move! What a move from Milliganes up into P4. That was stellar from him up into P4. Drops tactical to P5. And you've got the top 5. Or you've got a bit of a gap from Scotty. He's almost a cork in the bottle. Look at Tabden Beansy. These two are, battle resumed, Fury. Battle resumed. These two boys fought it out for 23 rounds last season. We are here at round 1, and it looks like it's more of the same, please.
Apart from all the glitches in the game, it literally feels like I haven't left at 121 with what we're seeing. But your guy JC, the Samsung, moves past the Castrol. He's actually going to have a bit of a cheeky look at Macedonian. Going to try and be the latest on the brakes. Unfortunately, Macedonian quite late on there, so he'll maintain that spot. Everyone's kind of just filled it out. But yeah, as you said, Scotty, bit of a cork in the bottle, quite slow on that hard compound side. But the thing is that while his race is not at the start, his mission is to stay with the medium runners around him. His pace will be at the end. Light fuel, softer tyre, he'll actually get to be a little bit more rewarding than what the medium tyre in right now, but an early safety car will obviously play against him. DRS wide open though for the Marlboro Milligames, and he's made light work of getting up. It's just a bit of an issue for him is that little 5-second penalty hanging over his head that he'll have to serve at his next pit stop.
Oh, Dino just clipped the front of, or the back of your guy, JC. He's got Macedonian on the inside of him. Macedonian's making moves left, right, and centre. Have a look at him fire up. He's up in a P9 from starting in P18. Holy moly, has he turned up round one or what, Fury?
Mate, it's been a great start. Your guy, JC, did end up getting back past Macedonian. Macedonian was ahead of that little gaggling of cars just before. But they ended up looking like they went 3 wide into the chicane. For some reason, these guys, they're like, oh, the cars can follow. Let's make it 3 wide through corners. Doesn't always work, gentlemen.
Doesn't always work.
Need to just keep your heads on. But there's 3 Castrol cars looking very hungrily at the back of these pack of cigarettes in the Marlboro.
Well, I'll tell you what, the oily boys of today beating the Castrol boys. Johnny M4, Dino, Brad Tay, all up Macedonian's clacker. And, well, he is weathering the storm quite nicely. His goal is to stay within that 1 second of JC, because if he drops out of that Fury, he will be a sitting duck. As we'll go back towards the back. And what's going on with TieStar? TieStar getting a new wing. And, well, that has affected him. Numbnuts, Chasey Dane look like they've done the same. Struggling at the back there, Fury.
Yeah, they've all come in the pot, but box already tabbed, though. The Samsung has reunited his battle with Beans, and he will take the lead of the Grand Prix. Those two on the medium side. Milligane's sister broken away very quickly from Scotty, and now with Beans and Tab starting to fight a little bit, he's going to look to come back in the fight as Dino gets past Macedonian. TieStar coming out of the pits on the cold tyres. He's actually had a spin as now Macedonian, he's looking all kinds of scary in the middle of a Castrol edge sandwich.
He certainly is, mate.
20 and 4, Brad say hungry, but look at that little gaggling, mate. You've got all 4 of the Castrol cars split by less than a second. You've got Suicide 5 in the Samsung. You've got a couple of Marlboros in there. And it's looking like a very tasty little pack that could, well, if it keeps providing good racing,
well, that's
what get a good show out of it.
That's what it's all about there, Fury. As Johnny M4 looks like he has certainly woken up from that slumber during qualifying. He is really on the back of Macedonia, ain't letting him go. And, well, these two boys have raced against each other for quite a number of years. And they know exactly all each other's tricks. Albeit Johnny M4 was, well, he went missing on 2021 to his own admission. But it looks like he's found his rhythm back again. And he's where he should be, right there with Macedonian. From previous games, they were there and thereabouts, both of them together. And it's good to see him back up there as well there, Fury. Suicide 5 just biding his time ever so slightly, mate. He has got all these cars to contend with. He doesn't want to throw it in a place where it's not wanted. Of course, see, look what he's got. He's got 4 cars in his direct line of sight. Have a look at this. This is fantastic stuff.
And 2-5 has actually gone around, so he's going to drop out of that little battle. Sorry, not 2-5, Dino. So Dino had just cleared this little battle pack. He was about 1.4 seconds up the road. Brad Tay and Johnny M4, the Castrol guys, looking to reignite the battle. Johnny's actually, Brad Tay nearly actually sends a move on Macedonian. Brad's carrying a little bit of damage on that front wing, but a little bit different downforce packages. You can kind of get away with it a little bit more.
Which is another thing there, Fury, that I think that, you know, he's missing an end plate, keeping up with a bloke that's got a full front wing, and that's not good either. So, I mean, I know the real stuff is similar, but they still can't keep up like that. No chance in hell. And anyway, we'll move on because, yes, Callum Tyler, the green ones, what we're looking at now, that is Castrol Racing. Suicide 5, that is Samsung. Where is the red one? There is Macedonian. That is Marlboro Racing. That is Team Puma. That one there, and Tactical Genius, that is JPS, John Player Special. And, well, there you go. And the reserve livery of Cool Boy, there he is there. That is the reserve livery. So I hope I've taken care of that for you, Callum. But yeah, there you go. So, well, the gaps have started to stabilise, but I'll tell you what, Fury, it's this battle between 10th right through to 16th is so intriguing. Look how close they are.
Yeah, well, Callboy and Boston have now been able to kind of jump on the back of this little pack. They were quite the ways behind it. Just with Macedonia, he's just kind of been a bit of a cork in the bottle for this whole little group. Every car that's gotten past has been able to really kind of towel away from the following pack. And the other thing I wanted to mention as well, so about 2 laps ago, Milliganes was 3 seconds, 3.1 seconds behind Tabbed and Rip the Beans. He's pulled out 8/10 on those 2 in front. So they're starting to fight, and Milliganes is starting to cheer on because he's starting to really reel those guys in, and he could be a third factor in this fight as 2-5 has had not his first spin of the night. Unfortunately, the Cashmore guys, they're getting overtakes, but they end up giving a lot of places back.
They certainly are, and Suicide 5 from 15th, 16th on the grid up into 11th. He just got by Broken Reptile, Johnny M4. Now he's looking at Macedonian. He can see he's got his racing helmet on, and he's ready to push. He just got to clear these few cars as we go back up to the top, and we're still half a second between these two. Beansy's actually really looking after his battery there, Fury. He's on about the same amount as, Tabbed in front of him. But there you go, as we'll flick back down towards that middle pack where that battle is just full on. And have a look at it. What's Suicide 5 doing? He's just got by Macedonian. He's up in a P10, and he's looking to pounce on Brad Tay. And this is very important for Suicide's race now. He needs to focus. He needs to put his head down and get these laps in. He doesn't want those boys in front of him to get too further up the road. And of course, his cousin being 2-5, not having a great time of it. A couple of spins already, and while that is the new patch update working its magic for everybody at home, as Johnny M4 gets a 3-second time penalty, and whackity whack.
Beans is around, mate. Beans is around.
Oh, no!
Out of the exit of the chicane. Him and Tab were going absolute ham and cheese, leaving no quarter at all through the chicane. Milliganes was gaining hand over fist, and he's actually pulled nearly within a second. And unfortunately for Beansy, he just got on the exit of that chicane, and he went around. So he's now down behind his teammate Scotty into P6 with Crazy Kiwi hammering him around. But Tab, he's now going to have pressure from behind, so he's going to have to deal with the Beans situation that Beans has had to deal with a little bit.
Well, Johnny M4 is looking at Broken... Oh, he got it wrong. He got it well wrong. He was too close to Broken Reptile coming out of that sweeping right-hander there, Fury, and just clipped him. No damage, of course, but look at the places he's just dropped. Cool Boy just got by him, and now he's in 14th, and Bopton is looking to make amends. He is trying to get by him as well, so gap stabilised. They're still pretty close, and it's this mid-pack, Fury. Well, Macedonian, Broken Reptile, Cool Boy, Johnny M4, Bopton, and Dino is starting to come back again.
Yeah, so Dino, as I said, mate, Macedonia is just, as you can see, Broken Reptile, he's actually just cleared his teammate of Macedonian now. Suicide 5 on the last lap, he pulled 1.5 seconds on Macedonian, so you can just see Macedonia's just either struggling to either get those cars in the working window, or whether maybe they're just overheating a bit, so he's just driving the car a little bit safer just to make sure he finishes. Broken Reptile, who, by the way, he started P20 in this race, is up 9 places, and he's going to push absolutely on now. But, mate, these guys have been going at it, and, given how many cars are in such a confined space,
it's not bad.
They kept relatively clean, which is really good to see.
Oh, Cool Boy making a move. Cool Boy making a move on Macedonian. He got it done. But Matho's not done yet. No, you don't, son. He'll take that one back up into P12. And he lives to fight another day, does Macedonian. Almost on a knife's edge here, Fury. As Bopton and Johnny M4. Well, Bopton take the inside. Johnny very, very wide. And, there's a spin. That's Cool Boy. Cool Boy's around. No. Oh, he spun it back around, and that's affected Dino. And Dino will have to box. Dino will have to box. And there you go. There you go.
Well, that's actually new as well. So yeah, Dino and Callboy will both have to box. But the other thing was that Callboy actually got given a drive-through penalty for his collision with
Dino. Yeah, he flick spinned it back on track on the racing line.
Yeah, he
I
definitely
mean, that's
tried
a
to move. It
penalty
was
every day of the week.
definitely his fault. But I was actually just more impressed that the game actually gave him the
Yeah,
penalty.
yeah, don't worry
Like
about
that's what I
Hang
was.
on, well, I mean, Fury, we can be impressed in some bad places, but this is round 1, take 4, mate. I am not impressed.
Oh
What?
look, like don't get me wrong, it's been an absolute shit show of a night. I'm just
Oh,
trying to take
mate.
some positive out of it. Somebody got penalised properly, and
Yeah.
that's something the game's been severely
I
lacking
think we all
for a
did,
long
mate.
time.
We've all been penalised properly on this one. But we're under safety car conditions, folks. And, well, there you go. Under safety car conditions. A bit of a neutralisation here. And, well, Tabbed leading the way. Staying out, not in his window, and rightly so. And Suicide 5 doing the same thing. Up in a P8 from 16th on the grid. So he's up, excuse me, up eight places. Let's just check them for everybody at home. The positions gained, look at that. Who is the biggest winner? Well, there's tied, a three-way tie with 8 each. Suicide 5, Macedonian, Broken Reptile. The biggest losers on the grid is 2-5, unfortunately. Down 9 places there, Fury. And, well, a couple of spins will do that, of course. Understandable. Understandable. And, well. Now would be a good time to put the hard on if they're all going to be doing it. It'd be interesting to see what they do. But yes. Now we're going to adhere to what the Grand Prix does. And let's just see if the man boxes. He certainly is. And he's putting the hard compound on. So that's the way to go.
Yeah,
And they will run to the end
medium
now.
guys out.
Yeah.
Helps the medium guys out something easy, so they can go easy hard to them to the end. What this does do, though, it hurt Milligan something shocking because he obviously had to come into that 5-second penalty for
right.
gaining a position while corner cutting. So he's actually dropped back to 4th position. What this does do is that, with 18 laps to run, we're probably going to have about 16 laps to go once we get under racing, roughly. Sandeezy, who is currently in P2, he's on medium size. Now, while normally we probably would say they're not going to get there, it's possible he can get those to the end, and they're going to be the better tyre to start off this stint.
Well, I mean,
so,
it all depends
if he
on
can
his
gap Tabbed.
It depends on his tyre pressures, though, Fury. Sandeezy's no slouch. We all know that. We all know he knows the game. But if his tyre pressures are right, you can comfortably do 18 laps on the mediums around here. I actually did it today, just to test the theory out. And yeah, quite comfortable. It's very, very heavily reliant on your tyre pressures, though, and that is the main thing. Very much how. Well, it reminded me of 2021. You go full pressures on qualifying, and then come race time, you drop them down to your race pressures, not on nothing, but on race pressures that you need to work out prior to. And once you do that, if you work them out all prior to the Grand Prix, that's what the practice sessions are there for on the Grand Prix settings. But yeah, you do all that, mate. You could stretch them. They went for ages. And I would comfortably say that if I was racing on this track with the setup that I would run, I would do a medium soft, one stop, and do it easily. And it's really, really heavily reliant. That's what I found anyway. Very heavily reliant on the tyre pressures, more so than what it was previous, obviously. But yeah, it's interesting to see how it's all been played out. I've got this shocking sound glitch in my ear. I don't know if you guys are picking it up on stream, but it just seems like the cars are... I don't know, maybe it's still me being a little bit crook, but well, there you go. We'll go through this order again here, Fury. We've got Tabbed on P1. We're on lap 10. We're going to have another couple of laps around this one under safety car. Sandeezy, P2, and of course, Tactical P3. We've got Milligains doing a great job at the moment. P4, Scotty in P5, and Rip the Beans. Well, that safety car there, right there, mate, has helped him out big time. We've got your guy JC there in P7 and Crazy Kiwi in P8. Suicide 5, stellar job from him at the start of this Grand Prix. Kept his head down, kept his nose clean, up into P9. Same with Macedonian and Broken Reptile. These three guys were all at the back, and looks like they've all followed each other through to get to the middle of the pack. Bopton there as well in P12. There he is there, the Boptoonie. We've got Brad Tay in P13. Johnny M4 in P14. Dino in P15, and Cool Boy, there he is there. Zeno opting the softs, which is very interesting to say the least. Cool Boy there in 16th. 2-5, well and truly out of position in 17th. Numbnuts, there he is there, 18th. Chasey Dane in 19th, and Ty Star is our 20th driver.
Oh. So, yeah, Dino, so everyone, I did just check the race director as well. So everybody can go to the end legally. Everyone
has used a different compound.
Yes.
If your tyres can go the distance, except I don't think Dino is probably the only person on the grid who probably won't be in. Maybe Ty Stowe's done 5 laps on his mediums already. But we'll move on.
Well, that's it. Well, I mean, a good segue because we've got Supercher 61 who has just followed. And, well, thank you very much for your follow, mate. This is Formula 4 Racing. This is the Aussie division. You guessed it. We're at France. And this is our round 1. Take 2, 3, and 4 that we were meant to do on Monday. But the update sort of hampered all that. But we are back nevertheless. And I reckon we'll go racing. Yes, certainly will. We're going to stay with Sandeezy here, Fury, because we don't want to give him a leg up on when Tabbed goes, of course. But there you go. Supporting them lads. No worries, mate. Yeah, support them lads. Absolutely. Get in amongst it, mate.
We'll have a bit of support for everyone. Race 1, it's a brand new game, brand new season. We've had some issues, but we're finally racing and we're getting going. And that's so easy. You'll be looking to kind of catch Tab napping here. Just to maybe try and put some pressure on him early before those mediums going to come up to temperature. They're going to be the harder tyre to do that, obviously.
He's gone. Tab's gone. Tab's gone. Tab's gone.
He's gone.
He has gone. He gone way early. And, well, he knows that Sandeezy's on the medium. And he knows that, well, Sandeezy's going to have more purchase coming out of these corners. And look at it. Look how much he's caught just in that little short space. As, well, Tab trying to break the toe. And, well, there you go. Tab managing to hold that lead. Sandeezy can go to the end. Those mediums will lose their little bit of purchase towards the end of the Grand Prix, but they will be quite comfortable, and he will quite comfortably make it. As the top 5 have started to gap JC. JC in P6, as we'll have a look. What's going on here? We've got Melendez is around. Oh, no! That is not what he wanted.
Oh, I'm so heartbroken for the lad. He's had such a good night and shown so much pace. The 5-second penalty that, whether it was just or unjust, I didn't see how he got it, but we'll he'll let us know about it later. But the spin's really not going to help him at all now. Drops right down to 19th place.
Well, Suicide 5. Yeah, he certainly
continues his punching up the way.
He certainly does. He certainly does. Up into 7th position. And, well, he's got his racing helmet on. Johnny M4, whack. Another 3-second for him. And that can't be helping his cause at all, Fury. As what is going on towards the back? There he is there, Johnny M4. That gaggle of cars is still there. I speak of Bopton, Brad Tate, Dino, Johnny M4, Cool Boy, 2-5 has now tapped onto it. And look at what they've all got to contend with. They've just got to navigate the next few laps and really get their head down. These hard compounds, even though they're brand new, they will come into their own. They will come into their own. They go through that early phase at the start, just as they always have. But they will come back, of course, as Macedonian trying to hang on. He's trying, but Kiwi looks like he's got enough in the tank. He certainly has. Suicide 5 is, well, he's doing his thing. He's ahead of Kiwi at the moment. JC is next, his teammate. But what's happening up the front? Rip the Beans and Scotty, the two Pumas, are having a ring-a-ding-ding. And I wonder if we're going to see team orders for the first time here, Fury.
Yeah, well, Scotty obviously the pot 2 compared to Beans the pot 1, defending Aussie champ. A little bit out of position after an earlier spin as 2-5 has, mentioning spins, he's had another one. And Tab's gone around, mate. So he's just given Sandeezy the lead now. That is both of the leaders who have been at the front. Sorry, I should say all 3 now, because Milligan's included in that grouping.
I'll tell you what. At some point. I tell you, even though it's only round 1 though, Fury, I'll tell you what, Beansy must be licking his lips and counting his blessings, because he did that a few laps ago and was saved by the safety car. But nevertheless, he's still got a lot to contend with. Macedonian, look at a Kiwi here, Fury. He certainly is. There is nowhere to pass there at the moment, though. He's going to have to buy his time. He's going on the inside. No, he doesn't. He's a little bit too far back for that there, Masso. And, well, we'll just see how he gets on. He's really catching Kiwi, though. Kiwi, with the pressure that he's under, is dropped off. Suicide 5, still in that DRS zone. But he has got a flying Macedonian behind him. And he's going to have to watch his mirrors more than what he's watching up the front. And there you go, as Irvin has just joined. How are you, mate? Good to see you as Beansy and Scotty. And Jadoku as well. How are you, Jadoku? Good to see you in the chat supporting Suicide 5. And, well, Suicide 5 at the moment in P6 as we'll flick back up to the top because Tactical really is on the hunt. Now, this lad's no slouch. He's a very clean, he's just a consistent driver. Very rarely makes a mistake. And, well, he's doing his thing out there, of course. And, well, Sandeezy can go to the end on those mediums. So can Scotty. So it'll be interesting to see how these tyres do play a part towards the end of this one. We're on lap 14 of 27, folks, as I'll flick back down to what's going on here. Oh, what has happened? What has happened? Suicide 5 just dropped back.
Dino's gone around again, so Suicide 5 still P6. I think it may have just made a little error where Kiwi's just closed up a little bit of time, but Dino's actually gone around Broken Reptile. Has just lost a position by the looks of it to Boston, so he's no longer chasing down his teammate of Macedonian. But yeah, as you mentioned, the guys up front, maybe DZ's looking after his tyres, but the other thing I did notice is Tactical Genius has absolutely spent just about every single bit of that battery
he certainly has.
break into the DRS, and that's going to hurt him, because now, unlike last game where you could really kind of get it up in a couple of laps, it takes about 5 to 6 laps just to get a bit of ERS back. And if the guy in front of you's been saving the whole time, you're never going to have
You're never going. That's right. That's right. I mean, it's got that big overtake written on it for a reason, of course. You can use it however you choose, but we've just seen team orders. We've just seen team orders for the very first time. Scotty letting Beansy go. And he says, go ahead, Mr. Pot One, go get him. Go defend your title. And here he goes. And, well, there you go. There you go. Good stuff from him. Bopton all over Macedonian. And Bopton's come alive too at this later part of the Grand Prix, Fury. And it's looking pretty good for this lad, as we'll flick down a tab, because with an early mistake, well, a relatively early-ish mistake, he finds himself in 11th. And, well, he's just got to navigate these next gaggle of cars, well, very, very quickly and cleanly, of course, because he's losing time. The more he sits back here, the more time he loses.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Brad Tay also just back in the box, just to make Cashdol's night even worse. He back in the box for a full front wing change. But yeah, you're right. As you mentioned, Tab dropping back to P11. He's now up to P10, getting past Broken Reptile. He's going to have the pace over these guys. He is a pot one driver, and has that up the front for most of tonight. But the biggest thing that he's got to hinder him is that not everywhere around this track is an opportunity. He needs to really weigh up his options on where he's going to make his overtakes. But the other thing is that they're all fighting for positions in front of him as well. They're
exactly.
They're not just fighting him, they're fighting each other.
Exactly.
So they're going to defend for their absolute life. They don't care who he is. They don't care what his name is. They're going to try to keep it behind. And that's what makes it harder to get through. As, well, Johnny M4 just caught Broken Reptile a little bit napping there, because he's just gone a little bit around the outside, the second to last corner. It says, thank you very much, I'll take that place. He's the lead Castrol driver is Johnny M4 with his 6 second 10.
Which is great to say.
2 of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. So well, let's just have a look at these penalties for people at home. And there you go. Tabbed with 3. Johnny M4 with 6, and Ty-Star with 3. As I'll get off that, that is a very glitchy noise. And there you go. So we'll flick back up to the top to give the boys some onage. Scotty has dropped off a little bit from Beansy, and Beansy is starting to reel in Tactical now. Look at that. But Beansy has done the same as what Tactical's done. He's cooked his battery, absolutely cooked it. And, well, we have got 11 laps remaining. And, well, let's just see how these boys go. As Tabbed gets by Masso, he's into P9 now. He's got Bopton to contend with. Up into P8 is the Boptoonie. And let's just see how Bopton gets on. Crazy Kiwi has dropped a little bit back off, and same with Suicide 5. They're sort of in no man's land a little bit. They're just doing their thing. He can see your guy JC in front of him, and he's just doing his thing. I know, well, France is not one about, is not one of his specialties, is this track for Mr. Suicide 5. But nevertheless, up in a P6 for the lad. Great effort from him. And, well, that's pretty much about it. As Broken Reptile, Johnny M4, and Macedonian all having a ring-a-ding. Oh, there you go. Johnny's around. And he's not the lead Castrol anymore there, Fury. Or is he?
He still is, because Brad Tays unfortunately had about 3 different spins since coming out of the pit lane. 2-5 and Dino have had further issues. So he's actually going to be the lead Castrol. Unfortunately for him, it's not been a night to remember. I do believe Coolboy's actually just picked up 210. Yeah, he's picked up 2 10-second penalties, but he's been letting the pack go by his drive-through. He's had a rough time. And DZ, oh my Lord, these guys cannot keep the car.
DZ's around as well, I'll tell you what.
Runners. DZ's just dropped it to P4.
He's just spun it himself, and well, there you go. It can happen to anybody, and there you go. Because well, this update has not done no one on the console version any favours at all, mate. It just seems like well, very easy to lose the rear, and it's quite baffling for me. I just don't see how when it was it was easy to lose the rear pre-update than what it was afterwards. But some of the boys are. Well, I mean, it's right across the board, isn't it? I mean, that is the talk of the town at the moment. And, well, look at this. Rip the Beans all of a sudden finds himself into P2. What is going on with Tabbed? Excuse me, Tabbed in P9. All over Bopton like a rash here, Fury. And, well, they both have time penalties. And let's just see how he goes.
Yeah, but Tabbed's going to be looking to get past Bopton pretty quickly. He's come up to Kiwi a couple of times previously, and he knows Kiwi will defend him. With the elbows very heavily out. Of course, 2 Puma cars as well to make matters that much worse, trying to probably held their teammate Beans out. But Tabbs, he's made a bold move there. He's going to be around the outside the final corner to give plenty of space. He's gone a little bit on the curb, which does hurt his exit a little bit, but they're both sending the battery, which critically, Bopton's got a little bit more of it, and Tab will just about get
they've touched!
No, he doesn't. Bopton keeps the fight going around the outside.
Oh, no! And he spun it!
Bopton's around.
He spun it. Good effort, Bopton. Good effort, mate. But bad luck there. He must have put the power on too early. And around she went. Milligane's trying to make up for that early spin as well. Finds himself in P10 there, Fury. Where yellow flags in the third and first sector. They've all gone green now. So battle resumed, but Milligane's all over Broken Reptile. And I reckon we're going to see another team order thing happening here. Well, not even necessary, as Fury has left the session.
My game crashed.
His game crashed. All right, no dramas, Fury. I'll send you an invite, mate. Let me just get this invite to Fury, and we'll get... What's going on here? Can't even invite friends.
Game. Oh, no.
Hang on, Fury. I can help you out, mate. I can help you out. Give me 1 second. I'm sharing my screen in the commentary room so you can see what I'm looking at, Fury.
That's a bit.
Okay, so let's pick this one back up. Tabbed. He's now all over the back of Crazy Kiwi after Bopton making that spin. And Fury has joined. Fantastic. And we'll get him some visuals very soon. Sandeezy, well, he's caught up the back of Scotty. And Scotty is going to make that car just as wide as possible to give Beansy that, well, the breathing space he needs. As, well, that reserve livery looks absolutely stunning. Your guy, JC, finds himself in 4th. And, Fury, let us know when you've got visuals, mate, because I've got to put a driver in... You have? I've got to put the driver of the day poll up.
And
cool we have just... Cool Boy has quit.
Yeah, note that, please. Thank you very much. So Tactical Genius must have spun in my departure. It's Crazy Kiwi's gone around, and unfortunately, Tab's got... well, he was blocked off completely by it. So Tab's... a lot of his hard work's just been undone there. So unfortunately for him, he'll drop back down to P11. Sandeezy finds himself now back into P2 after his venture around. Tactical Genius drops all the way from the lead down to P5 after his adventurous spin. Rip the Beans, he's out as well. Like, I think we'd be hard pressed to find someone on the grid at the moment that hasn't spun, apart from probably Scotty and your guy JC in the top
I was just
5.
about to say that, mate.
They've just about all done it. May as well have a trip, have a turn. Everyone wants to go on the merry-go-round. As Cool Boys car, just for anybody who is racing and watching, please pay as close attention on the small straight between turns 2 and turn 3. Don't worry anymore, the car's gone. Go on me. But the races are on here because the Rip Beans had to spend a lot of that battery to kind of make it back on the tactical, and now he's only got about 24% left. Easy has about 43, so he'll be able to break off Scotty because best thing he can do now is, well, for Scotty's case, is to keep fighting DZ and keep making the argument of keeping him behind, just to keep him off the Beans' tail. If DZ breaks away, it will give him a little bit of free rein to really start reeling in Beans, and that will make our race a little bit interesting towards him, which is always nice. But mate, it's all still struggling, and this is the thing. A lot of guys saying that, as I said, the no TC guys said it was easier on traction, and yet a lot of the no TC guys are the ones that we've had spinning around. As Numbnuts, he's taken an adventurous route off the track as well, so he's lost the position. Johnny M4, he's had an up and down races. Tab sends a move on Macedonian, and about as late as he did. However, his ERS light is on at the moment. He's got absolutely no battery left in that thing. He comes back up to Crazy Kiwi, so he'll be looking to make a move past him. Billy Gaines is back into a starting spot. He's the guys around him up 12 places. Is Broken Reptile back at the grid start. Traffic in real life, traffic in the virtual game has meant he somehow found his way all the way up to 8th place, avoiding all the carnage. The Suicide 5 may not be a speciality track for him, but the man finds himself in P10, and he is starting to close up on Tactical Genius. So maybe Tactical's struggling a little bit at this point in time as Tab sends it around the outside of Kiwi. Oh, sorry, down the inside of Kiwi at the second to last corner. Johnny M4 picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. A weird time for him to come into pits, maybe not thinking those pits are going to go to the end. Numbnut in the pit lane as well, but Tab moves himself up to P9, but that 3-second penalty hanging over his head for the next 7 laps. That will drop him back down. Just let me know when you're
I'm back,
driver
mate.
of the day.
The driver of the day votes have gone in, and Suicide 5, your guy JC, Broken Reptile, Macedonian, and Johnny M4 are your votes you can put in, and there you go. So Drop Dash won't let me vote for Scotty because he's not in there, mate.
That's pretty much how it works. If you're not in there, you're not up to vote for.
I mean, that is what it is. It is what it is until we find a better system. And there you go. So it's Tactical Genius. He's really hunting your guy, JC. He's been in 4th position virtually this whole Grand Prix there, Fury. He's done a stellar job. JC has this round. And, well, Tactical says, no, you don't, son. I fancy a bit of that 4th place. So let's just see how they get on. We'll go towards the back because Macedonian Crazy Kiwi, Macedonian and Crazy Kiwi, there they are there. Bopton's just a little bit far back, but Macedonian trying to reel in Crazy Kiwi. Kiwi has dropped a couple of positions in the last couple of laps, and that was from Tab getting by. Broken Reptile has really turned it on now. He's starting to get his head down and focus on what he's got to do. And we've got 5 laps remaining, Fury. 5 laps remaining, and Tactical's just lining up JC. I wonder if how much ERS has he got? 24%. JC, holy moly, with a full tank. So I tell you what, Tactical would not want to do this too early because he's just going to get buzzed straight by him back. And, well, there you go. Want to wait to the last lap, I reckon, for Tactical to get this job done because JC, he's got a full tank of ERS. He's not going to have this one easy.
Tactical Genius needs to employ some genius tactics, is what I'm getting out of it. So,
boom ching.
Boom ching, I'm all over it. He'll probably sit by, use the CRS. You may see him try and get by just using QS alone. If he does get a good enough exit over your guy JC, he's had a pretty consistent race. He's not really gotten any trouble. He's not been at any one of those. He's kind of just flown under the radar, just been there or thereabouts, and he's found himself right at the pointy end of the race in a very good spot. But the other person to mention is Suicide 5 in behind him. So 16th in this race. He's up 10 places, and he's gaining on those cars in front as, once again, there's a cash dollar around. I think I should sort of pointing it out now because they're just around all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not having the best race as the cash roll boys.
I think they're dropping oil onto their own tyres.
I think so. The oily boys have found a way. And, well, it's almost like Mario Kart, except their shells are hitting each other instead of hitting the other ones. But yeah, Suicide 5 really is starting to he's starting to reel him in, isn't he? The ladder's come alive. He's fired up. And he's got, what has he got? 2 seconds to get to Tactical. And, well, Tactical's still biding his time behind JC, of course, not wanting to make that move too early. But the gaps have stabilised. Bopton is all over Macedonian now. Bopton is all over Macedonian. Not too sure if Masso made a mistake, but he was just all over Kiwi not long ago. Now Bopton has him, and that's up in a 12th place for Bopton. Well done, Bop.
Yeah, I absolutely think Macedonian's had to have made an error somewhere because he's gone from being, attacking one Puma to being attacked by a Puma, and the Puma has not taken any prisoners at all. So Bopton, up into P11, he's had a very solid afternoon.
He has.
As he is Macedonian. He's still up 5 places though, so after his qualifying, or despite his poor qualifying, he's still moved up the grid. Numbnuts, he's just at the first lap of the race at 32.961, just anyone paying attention to that. He will get an extra point for that. So down in 15th for him at the moment. It's not been an ideal race for him, but the gap, it's still ever closing between Rip the Beans and Daisy. It's still just ticking away. But does Daisy have enough time? And the better question is that do his tyres have enough life to maintain this pace and possibly pose a challenge at Beans at the end, or is Beans going to start the season, well, like he just about finished the last one, and that's towards the pointy end?
Well, there you go. So at the moment, the driver of the day votes there, Fury. Well and truly leading the way is Mr. Suicide 5, and rightly so too, mate. Rightly so. So at the moment, he's currently leading the driver of the day vote. Get your votes in, folks. That will determine it. As, well, the gaps have stabilised. Tactical's still biding his time behind JC. And, well, the rest is out of that DRS zone, except for, Numbnuts have just crept into the, whoa, and he's nearly lost the car again. And that's thrown him out of it. And I think he's just lost it. The detection zone was just where he lost the car, and it's just drifted him outside the second. We'll know in a second when they cross that line. And there is the DRS line. No, he's out of it. So he has to bide his time. Another lap.
It's gonna be a struggle for Milligan. Certainly, the main thing for him is that he is kind of clear enough for himself. He's not really going to be under pressure up from behind. So, what he can do is just make sure he's hitting all his apexes, maximizing his exits. Put the pressure onto Suicide 5, and make back some of these places. Obviously, a poor qualifying. Brad say he's got 10 seconds to exceed track limits for letting the leaders go. Really love how this game is. It's busted as hell for exceeding track limits, but it's fine for collision. So, anyway,
I don't know. Hey, listen, hands up in the air there, Fury. Hands are up in the air, mate. I got no answers. I'm not even going to try to find an answer. So,
it's worse than Michael Massey. Hey,
ease up. Anyway, move on. Massey's a gun.
I love Massey. Me and Massey go out for lunches together. We're good friends, me and Michael. But anyway, moving on. Numbnuts, he's going for a position around the out level of birthday. Unfortunately, did not work out for him. The soft tyres, maybe just overheating a little bit. Johnny M4 just leaves just about enough space. Takes the late apex, does not allow Numbnuts to get by, so he'll have to wait for that one. There's two very slow-moving Castrol cars on the straight. That was, it was just one Brad saying another one had to be nearby, which was 2-5, who's now become the lead Castrol. They've had a battle within themselves.
They have. It's more of an
lead car, but the problem is it's the lead car outside the top 10.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Finally gets past your guy JC. Suicide 5 has jumped past, been passed now by Milligan, so they've, switched places there. Millie will be, he's got some pace because he's nearly pulled a full second just off the exit of the chicane there, mate.
Yeah, Milligan's is on fire on this game, and it is there for everyone to see compared to last season. Urban Scyther saying Scotty should be popular. That's Urban being the teammate in another league for Scotty. And there you go. So he's put his arm around his teammate from another league, and well, there you go. So Tactical, well, there is Tactical doing a stellar job. JC, there he is there, still hanging on. And look at the battery life. Well, I'll tell you what, Tactical did save up a little bit. But your guy JC has spent quite a bit of his in the last couple of laps. So almost neutralised it. And there you go.
Yeah, well, 2-5, he was having a battle with Macedonian. The key part of that was he was having a battle with the Macedonian. Unfortunately, he found the Castrol car going the wrong way as Numbnuts in the JPS passes his teammate Johnny M4, moving himself up to P14 the soft size. Just working well for him at the moment. 2 laps to go now. Up to Junior. Hasn't broken away from your guy JC. That's only 5/10 of a second. That's big boy ERS advantage is kind of dipped away because your guy's burning it to get that place back, but he's not really making any inroads. So maybe a lower downforce setup is simultaneous spins from the Castrol cars, which is great.
Well, it's hurt them all Grand Prix. It's hurt them all Grand Prix there, Furious. We've got a few first-time chatters M-Stone is, well, he's saying Urban is ball man, Scotty. That's pretty funny. And, well, Miller saying, yeah, Scotty is pretty good, mate. That's the reason why he's here. And, well, reason why all these lads are here, mate. And invite-only league. And Urban is in it as well, of course. Urban did put his hand up to reserve, but missed the boat just a little bit late. And otherwise, he would have been on the grid, of course. As Numbnuts gets by Johnny M4 yet again. And, well, finally gets the job done. We're on the last lap here, Fury. Last lap. And, well, our championship winner, our defending champ, Mr. Rip the Beans, leads the way here. Doing it quite comfortably, too. And, well, he did make a mistake. He did have an early spin. Saved by that safety car and has not looked back ever since. Put his head down, done what he had to do, and now leads the way by 2.4 seconds from Sandeezy, who in turn had a spin on his own as well. And this patch update has thrown it 4-6 with a lot of the drivers, of course. Scotty, there he is there, but look what's happening behind him. Holy moly, Tactical's all over him. He's going to get the job done. Tactical's going to get the job done. Let's have a look at this. He's got it done. Scotty goes defensive. It's not enough. Is your guy JC having a look? He certainly is. He's a little bit too far back. It'll be the next straight where your guy JC is going to try to make a move. I'm keeping an eye out on that track map to see where Beansy is. But let's just see how this fares. Of course, no, he's not going to have a move. He's not going to make it. And your guy JC will have to bide his time as Rip the Beans has just got a couple more corners to negotiate. And let's just see how this goes.
Oh, there it is down the inside of Labose, though. Your guy JC's just had the move, didn't quite get the drive out of the corner on Scotty. Scotty's struggling those medium tyres, but yeah, we'll quickly. That's why it's playing. I wish we could do screen and screen.
Oh, it would be absolutely brilliant. But here he comes, Rip the Beans. Our defending champ wins round 1 of France. Sandeezy will take P2. Tactical in the end. P3. What a race from this lad. Awesome stuff. Scotty will take P4. Your guy JC, stellar job from him. Miller Gaines, what a fight back after a late spin. P6, our driver of the day, Suicide 5, takes home P7, tabbed P8. Broken Reptile with just that little bit of straight to negotiate will take home P9. Crazy Kiwi, P10. Will Bopton keep that spot? Will Bopton keep that spot? We'll just wait for these cars to all cross the line. And yes, he certainly does.
Yeah,
2-5, 13.
8.5 seconds clear.
Numbnuts will be 14th. Chasey Dane will be 15th. Johnny and 4, depending on how many. Oh, holy moly. 17 seconds. Yeah, he will keep that spot, but only just. Dino will take home 17th. Ty Star 18th. And Brad Tay will be our 19th driver.
Yes, that's, well, France 1.4.
France 1.4
We finally got it in the books.
We got there.
Finally done and dusted.
Well, we had a few lobby crashes, folks. And, well, if you just joined us late, we attempted Monday and the update came up. Had to abort. Came back again tonight. Got through quali. Did the formation lap. Abort. Did another formation lap. Abort. And thought, bugger it. We're not doing any formation laps. And, get this race underway, and here we are at the end of the Grand Prix, and look at that, look at the sight. Beansy on that top step yet again, and what a drive from him. Barely puts a foot wrong, and very, very good these days. Very proud of him on the way he's gone about his business. And we'll just go through these timing screens for everyone and for our stewards who do a stellar job. Numbnuts takes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1 minute 32.961. As I'll just let that roll through. And we're going to go on a brief pause after this, folks. We're going to get our drivers in for an interview. And, yeah, we'll finish this one right up. I was going to say that the UK boys are next, but they're not because it is Thursday. But there you go, folks. That is the running order. We're going to go on a brief pause. We'll be back with our drivers. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back. We certainly are. We've got our top 3 in the chat there, Fury. And, well, what better place to start than, well, we might tackle our driver of the day. We'll get through to him first, of course. It's Mr. Suicide 5, started 16th on the grid, came home in 7th, I do believe, in the end there. So a gain of 9 positions. Didn't very rarely put a foot wrong. Congratulations, Suicide 5, on a stunning drive. What a drive. Our driver of the day, as voted by the viewers. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, bit of a shock to get driver of the day, but I'll take it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And, well, I do know you were nervous prior to. I'm glad to see you got them all out of your system early, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, just dodged the broth for like 4 or 5 laps. It was absolute chaos at the back, and then I just ended up in no man's land. Just, I don't know, just tried to keep my nose clean, and the boys are too quick for me at the front. Like, there's no way I was catching them, but yeah, it's one of my worst tracks, so next week I'll be sending that, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And next week we are at Hungary, so look forward to seeing you there, mate. And, well,
Yeah, no worries.
Congratulations on another stunning drive. Well done, mate. And welcome back to the full-time fold.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Congratulations, all the top 3 and everyone else who drove well tonight. And too bad to the ones that, you know, drove shit.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And well, it's a cutthroat. It is a cutthroat industry. And there you go. Suicide 5, our driver of the day. And we'll go to our 3rd place man straight off the bat. And that will be none other than Mr. Solid, Tactical Genius. Oh, excuse me. Hang on. No, it's not. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Tactical Genius. He's just gone. He's come back. There he is there. Wow, what's happening here? We welcome Tactical to the commentary box. Tactical, solid P3, mate. Absolutely stunning effort from you. Well, I mean, gee, you're one never to write off, mate. What's the word I'm looking for there, Fury? The consistency juggernaut continues. Another stellar drive from you, mate. Talk us through it there, Tactical, because at one stage, you were just biding your time there with JC for a little bit. We're looking at your battery life. Weren't too sure if you had enough left in the kitty, but you got the job done, and congratulations on using your patience, my friend. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great race actually. I was a little bit disappointed in myself. I was P1,
yes,
and then had a big spin, so a bit annoyed I couldn't stay in it to fight for the victory, but definitely take a podium. And yeah, at the end with JC, I was just trying to save up my battery and then get him on the pack straight. But I think I was a bit worried I was gonna not catch Scotty as well. Him and Deezy on those mediums. I don't know how they did it, but cracking drive from them boys. And I think the top 3 all had a spin in the race as well. So pretty good fight back from those 2 boys as well to come back and get the 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And, well, we couldn't have been on, well, I mean, we don't play favourites, but considering the season he had last year, Milligains was really on it. He made that, well, everyone made mistakes. And, well, since this patch update has really not played any favours for the lads. But I'll tell you what, he fought back tremendously, absolutely tremendously, and well, was just shy of making that podium nevertheless. But it's not about him there, Tactical. It's all about you, mate. P3, congratulations. That means 3rd in the championship at the moment there, Tactical. Good job there, son, and look forward to seeing you in 4 days at Hungary.
Thanks, boys. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And, well, we'll move to another man who puts his hand up to reserve quite a fair bit. Speak of none other than Mr. Sandeezy. Sandeezy, talk us through that, mate. Very rare we see you make a mistake, but then again, we've seen a lot of boys make mistakes. And well, just talk us through it, mate. I mean, you did have that medium on towards the end of the stint. Were they just starting to fade towards the end there, mate?
They were completely effed. Yeah, one more lap and we would have been in dire straits. Me and Scotty were right up at 80% range. So it was we knew we had to take the medium there at the safety car. So the timing wasn't the best for us, but
yeah,
obviously it was the smartest thing to do. And then first I just want to say apologies to Tab. I don't think I did anything wrong, but we had a little bit of contact. He made a mistake going through the long ride onto the straight, and I think I left him enough room in my mind, but yeah, apologies. It still ruined his race. And then the spin was completely my fault. Just still trying to learn no assist and just a lapse of concentration, and I was around, but I was slowly winding beans in, but then the tires were just too cooked, and
Yeah,
I had
absolutely.
no ERS left. So well done to him. Luckily, just with his spin, it came before the safety car, and that was probably the big difference.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And well, great to see you back, Sandeezy, with us. And well, keep putting your hand up every opportunity you can. But well done on another solid Grand Prix. P2 for you at our round 1 at France. Congratulations, mate.
Thanks, mate.
All right, now let's move on to our race winner. Oh, I tell you what. Has he started where he left off, or what, Fury? Our defending champ, rip the beans. Oh, I tell you what, Beansy, our heart was in our mouth when you you made that mistake. You lost the car, and around she went, and I thought, oh, dearie me. Then the safety car came out, brought you back into contention, and you never looked back from that moment on. A great way to keep your head, and just talk us through it there, mate. Were you nervous at all there, Beansy?
Well, after DZ's spin, I was nervous for a while there because I had 2 warnings already, so I was just driving, trying to stay within the lines, and I also had no ERS because I was stupid and burnt it all before. But I was just driving, and then he was inching closer and closer, so I picked up the speed a little bit, and then his tires went off. So I mean, that safety car came at a bad time for the hard guys, but helped me. So
absolutely, mate. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the only boys you care about on that grid are your teammates. I think they're Beansy. The rest are all enemies, aren't they? And well, I mean, that's how you sort of treat it, of course. Yes, very team emphasis based here at Formula 4, but nevertheless, Beansy, well, picked up where you left off, leading the championship after round 1. All right, nothing to get excited about, but that's the perfect start that you wanted, and we are off to Hungary next week. Well, on Monday, the 1st of August, we'll be there, and we'll tackle that magnificent track. But what are your thoughts for Hungary there, Beansy?
Yeah, I like Hungary, so I'll be right.
Well, I tell you what, loving the confidence oozing out of this lad. And, well, looking forward to seeing you hit the track, of course, Beansy, and the rest of the lads doing their thing. But nevertheless, Beansy, P1 after a P1 season last season. Congratulations, mate. Well done, well deserved, awesome drive.
Yeah, you'll see me lap probably at Spain. I hate Spain, but up to Spain, we're all good. So yeah,
very good. That's what I like to hear, Beansy. All right, folks. I tell you what, Fury, that is our top 3 and our driver of the day. Not a bad first interrupted session 4 times. We must say that. But mate, it's been a pleasure having you in the box, and I'm looking forward to our next one as we roll on to get our continuity back in swing of things. But mate, I mean, first time in the box in a little while. Give us a bit of your insights, your thoughts.
Well, it was definitely a race that happened. It was pretty interesting to see how many of the top end guys struggled a little bit with traction. Obviously, the game is really, really good with everything that we had happen. Obviously, not just tonight, but on Monday night as well. I mean, it's good for a lot of these guys to get the cobwebs back off, and I know not everyone has actually started league racing yet. So, for some of these guys, it is their first league race back on this game.
Yep.
For me, it's my first racing comms for a few months myself. Yeah. So, getting the cobwebs back off, but it was interesting to see who had pace, who didn't, who could keep the car clean, not just without pens or without spinning the car as well. We're in for a really good season, and there were battles the whole way throughout the grid. It wasn't just there's 2 guys at the front, and then everyone spread out. It was there was 5 or 6 guys at the front, then there was a battle pack of 4 cars, and there was 8 cars in a row for a long period of time. So what it does for the rest of the season means that we're going to have an absolute banger, and that's the most important thing is having good, clean, fair racing, and that's what we want to see.
Exactly right, Fury, and that's probably a good place to end this one here, folks. I'll tell you what a great round 1. We finally got there in the end. We do hope you've enjoyed that as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll be back Monday, the 1st of August for Hungary, round 2, baby. Looking forward to seeing all you lovely people there, and our drivers, of course. But from us, for now, we are Formula 4 Racing. Goodbye.